This is Cardiff, the capital city of Wales with a tradition for fine buildings. Among the trees of Cathays Park stands a civic centre that is one of the finest in the world, with a city hall as a centrepiece. Rising high above the main structure, the clock tower adds beauty to the city. Behind the City Hall is Alexandra Gardens, which present a glorious burst of colour, but particularly so in spring, when the flowering cherries and magnolias proclaim that winter is over. In the centre of the busy city is Cardiff Castle, built by the Bute family on the site of an ancient fortress. Designed to hold an enemy at bay, it now houses a centre of culture, the Cardiff College of Music and Drama. Only a few yards away from the busy commercial heart of the city, the castle grounds provide an oasis of quiet and beauty. If you come to Cardiff, you may come by rail, the form of transport that brought coal from the valleys and founded a great city. Coal was exported from the docks, and Cardiff became known as a seaport all over the world. Today, coal is only one of the many cargoes handled, but the prosperity of the city still remains closely associated with the shipping which arrives from all over the world. For the busy executive who needs the quickest means of travel, there's Cardiff Airport, which also links this great city with the continent and other parts of the world. The newcomer to Cardiff who travels by land, sea or air will almost certainly find himself in Wood Street, close to the nerve centre of Cardiff's transport system, and dominated by the Wales Empire Pool.
But there's still another form of transport which has been forgotten, and that's where I come in. When I came to Cardiff, I travelled by motor car for the sole purpose of taking the plunge. By the way, I'm Virginia. That's me, the blonde. I've seen the Empire Pool plenty of times. You could hardly miss such a striking building, but never before had I been inside. Walking up the wide, gently climbing staircase, it was the pastel colours and the daylight filtering in from so many directions that impressed me. Surely the men who built the Wales Empire Pool must have been very proud to have their names attached to it. Never resist chocolate. Ira says it's fattening. Oh well, a girl has to eat. Just as I was asking Ira if they would put us in a big tank with our heads protruding, Mrs. Miller, who was to be our companion during the greater part of the afternoon, led us into the changing rooms. After disrobing and putting on my Turkish bath attire, I locked the wardrobe, which is provided for the safety of customers, and placed the plastic strap with the key attached on my wrist. Ira wasn't taking any chances and decided to weigh herself. They certainly believe in comfort in the Wales Empire pool. Fitted carpets and armchairs you could sink into were to be seen in every direction. This certainly appealed to me as the right place for a tired career girl. Both Ira and myself were much impressed by the shower cubicles, which Mrs. Miller said were specially designed to the specification of the City Council. Beautifully constructed with easy clean facings, they are completely watertight, a decided advantage if your neighbour happens to be having the cold treatment whilst you're enjoying the luxury of a warm shower. Here we are in the first hot room. It's only 130 degrees Fahrenheit. There are deck chairs to sit on, but we felt really lazy and decided to stretch out on the benches which surround the hot room. After warming up in this temperature, we suddenly found ourselves in room number 2, which is even hotter. Here Mrs. Miller left us to sizzle in 160 degrees Fahrenheit, whilst, as she said, she was going to get on with some vigorous massaging for another patron. We dozed for what seemed to be the best part of an hour. Then came the shampoo room. As usual, Ira was first, and to her amazement, received a shampoo all over. The water felt refreshingly cool, and we found that the massage toned up our bodies and made us feel good all over. Ira led the way to the next stage, the needle spray and shower. I think it took her by surprise when the jets of water suddenly hit her from all sides as well as from overhead. Feeling years younger, it was here that we really took the plunge. The pastel-coloured tiles are in perfect harmony with the sparkling clearness of the water, and altogether presented a most attractive picture. Good old Mrs. Miller on the scene again, this time with luxurious towels to wrap around us. At this stage we would have had a lot for a normal Turkish bath, but as it was our first trip, we decided to try everything. And everything included a wonderful piece of machinery called the Aerotone Therapeutic Bath. It looked a bit fearsome, but in I went to be pummeled all over with bubbles of air whipping the refreshing water into a foaming mass. Now what do they say it's good for? Rheumatism, varicose veins, high blood pressure, to name but a few. And for the athlete it's a wonderful treatment for bruises and muscle strain. In my profession, lack of exercise is a disadvantage, but here I found the answer without imposing any stress or strain on my body. There are 2 Aerotone baths, but I decided to be different and chose a foam bath. Lots of hot suds all over, and it's good for the figure, said Mrs. Miller. Whatever the effect on the body, Ira certainly seems to be enjoying the treatment. Things are done in style at the Wales Empire Pool. Everything is to hand, and a girl needn't neglect her wall paint even in the Turkish baths. Back in the luxurious lounge, we were served with tea and biscuits, and had a chat on our experiences during the afternoon. Perhaps this was the best part of the visit. Before going out into the world again, we relaxed on the foam rubber mattresses in our cubicles. According to Mrs. Miller, this is all part of the treatment.
Leave Ira and Virginia relaxing in the changing cubicles and take a look at the 55-yard-long swimming pool. From the spectator's point of view, the seating is superb. 1,700 seats have been provided, all specially designed to meet the requirements of the council. These seats have proved so satisfactory that many other local authorities have adopted the design. They're both comfortable and capable of withstanding the conditions which prevail in swimming pools. The pool, which meets all international standards, is a firm favorite with many first-class swimmers and divers. This is international champion Ian Black, training for a world record-breaking attempt on the 220 yards freestyle. Water cleanliness is one of the great musts in a swimming pool, and the Wales Empire Pool uses what is known as the breakpoint system of chlorination. This ensures a sterile water of an attractive color, clarity and sparkle. The children like it too. The pool holds more than 500,000 gallons of water. How many children? Try counting them. While the pool is a wonderful place for competitions and record-breaking attempts, the bread and butter comes from the adults and children who crowd into the building every day. A special feature of the pool which impresses every visitor is the array of tiles, specially designed to exploit the light of the interior of the building and to emphasize the soft pastel colors. These highly decorated tiles are silk screen printed by hand and are functional and fade-free, to mention but two of their outstanding properties. The chosen design develops into a single pattern, which is both decorative and sympathetic to the use of the building. As we say goodbye to Ireland, Virginia, two satisfied customers, we may rest assured that they'll return again for the sole purpose of taking the plunge. In the centre of the busy city is Cardiff Castle, built by the Bute family on the site of an ancient fortress. Designed to hold an enemy at bay, it now houses a centre of culture, the Cardiff College of Music and Drama. Only a few yards away from the busy commercial heart of the city, the castle port all over the world. Today, coal is only one of the many cargoes handled, but the prosperity of the city still remains closely associated with the shipping which arrives from all over the world. For the busy executive who needs the quickest means of travel, there's Cardiff Airport, which also links this great city with the continent and other parts of the world. Behind the City Hall is Alexandra Gardens, which present a glorious burst of colour, but particularly so in spring, when the flowering cherries and magnolias proclaim that winter is over. Grounds provide an oasis of quiet and beauty. If you come to Cardiff, you may come by rail, the form of transport that brought coal from the valleys and founded a great city. Coal was exported from the docks, and Cardiff became known as a sea. This is Cardiff, the capital city of Wales with a tradition for fine buildings. Among the trees of Cathays Park stands a civic centre that is one of the finest in the world, with the City Hall as a centrepiece. Rising high above the main structure, the clock tower adds beauty to the city.